Hey guys, welcome back to the Statuesque Events YouTube channel where we talk all things beautiful, modern, multicultural weddings, here in the DC metro area and everywhere in the United States. I'm excited that you're here today. If you're here and you're planning a wedding this year or next year, you're in the right place. And also, if you're here and you're a wedding planner or a wedding pro, you are also in the right place. Okay, my name is Faye Shaw. I'm the owner of Statuesque Events, as you can see. Statuesque Events, we plan weddings here in the DC metro area and everywhere around the world, really. We have, events in Europe, events in so many other places, and we've done events in so many states in the US, and we love producing modern multicultural weddings. Now, on top of that, we also run an accelerator program called Planners Who Profit. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's a coaching program for experienced event planners who are looking to increase their reach, get more into higher end and luxury weddings. And so if you're interested in either of those, more links on how to connect with us, either as an event planner or as a coach, are in the description below. But for today, I really wanted to chat about something that's really important, and we're going to be talking about what it costs to plan a wedding in the DC metro area in 2023 or 2024. All right, so this is a really important topic. It's important to understand the costs that go into planning a wedding and just to plan for it, right? So, the easy answer is that the average cost of a wedding in the DC metro area is somewhere around $40,000, right? And the average size of a wedding, pretty much everywhere in the United States, is around 120 people. So if you're planning a wedding of about 100 to 150 people, then you should expect to spend around $40,000, give or take a couple $1,000s, right? And this is all assuming average for everything, right? Not like, Pinterest worthy, not like the things that end up in like top magazines, right? Like average venues, photography, everything down the gamut. So the average cost you should expect to spend is about $40,000. Of course, sometimes people hear these sorts of numbers and they're like, "Are you telling me I can't plan a wedding for 10,000?" No, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that on average, what people are spending is about 40,000. So it's important to temper your expectations and to plan accordingly, right? You can have a wedding for $100 if you want, right? You can have a wedding on any budget, but as far as the average, it's about $40,000. And to get what most people are looking for, that's what it takes. Now, when it comes to high end events, right? Like events that are a little bit higher on the caliber, when you're thinking about decor, when you're thinking about experiences, or when you're thinking about food, right? Those events are a little closer to maybe around the $65,000-$70,000 mark, right? That's what people are spending on average for higher end events. And for us, that's where a lot of our clients are falling on average between, 70K and up for their event budgets. Again, for that same guest count, around 100 to 150 now. And then, of course, finally, luxury weddings are generally defined by weddings that are over 100K. And so, again, over 100K, assuming around 100 to 150 guests, that's when you start getting to, luxurious weddings, like really gorgeous, like over the top everything, unique seating, unique invitations and stationery, unique design plans. Like when you get into more over the top things, those are the things you tend to see more of on, on Pinterest and on, in different wedding magazines and stuff like that. That's what it costs. Now, I know that a lot of people are probably, listening to this, and for some of you, it's not a shock. For some of you, you're like, yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense to me. And for some of you, you're like, that's a lot of money. I don't understand what's going into that. I'm going to break it down just a little bit, right? Number one, you got to pay for us. Got to pay for your wedding planner, right? Who's going to be working with you for 9 months, 12 months, sometimes even longer than that, to pull together the right vendors, consulting with you throughout the process, pulling things together, and usually working a very long day on the day of your event to make sure that everything is smooth and that everything is cohesive. You're also going to pay for a photographer, and for a lot of times, for a lot of people, when you're thinking about photography, people are like, oh, I want an amazing photographer. I want, beautiful magazine worthy images. And on average, you're going to be spending like, 7,000 or more for that service. Right. And then venues, depending on the type of venues you go with, venues that provide catering to you are averaging at least like maybe 120 a person, sometimes even more. So again, 120 a person for 100 people. that's already a lot that's coming out of your budget, plus taxes, plus gratuities and things like that. You gotta have to pay for a bridal suite, pay for hair and makeup, and most people are paying for hair and makeup for your bridals, for all your whole bridal party, right? So that's easily like a $2,000, $3,000 bill for each of those when you're paying for that. Then you gotta pay for the actual decor, which is usually at least 10, 15, $20,000 for decor, depending on the different elements, between lighting, flooring, linen, rentals, florals, all those things put together, at least 15, 20, and for some people even more, 40,000, right? As a production for decor. Then there's so many other things to pay for. Video, you want to pay for an MC, you want to pay for a DJ, you want to pay for, different rentals and displays. And there's just so many other things to pay for when it comes to an event, dessert carts and dessert displays. So, and you can see how easily these things all add up, and that's what comes up to this number, right? So the easy answer, again, just to summarize, is you're going to be spending on average anywhere between $40,000 to over 100,000 on an event if you're planning it in the DC metro area. That's something to consider, something to keep in mind as you're shopping for vendors, asking for quotes. It's something that you want to prepare for, so you're not shocked when you're getting quotes back from people on what it's going to take to pull this together for you. All right, like I said, you can absolutely plan an event for less. That generally just means you're working with people who are not as experienced, right? And may and all the things that come with that as well. But this is just a benchmark to keep in mind for you as you're planning your event. So I hope this is helpful, something to consider, think about, marinate on. But this is basically what you're looking at, right, for an event coming up in the DC metro area in 2023, 2024. If you've made it this far in this video, make sure you subscribe, because as usual, we have lots of helpful tips coming your way, and we want to make sure you don't miss any of them at all. And we have so much content on this channel, like going over the planning process for so many of our events. You get to see the decor, the rewinds. There's so much to see. So make sure you go back and check that out. And also make sure you like this video, all right? So make sure you subscribe, like, and we can't wait to see you again in the next video. Ciao, and I'll chat with you soon.